return of Daredevil has been met with considerable excitement, and fans are eagerly dissecting each episode for all the Easter eggs. Episode 5, with interest, definitely rewards attentive viewers. This video will count down the Easter eggs identified in this episode 5, exploring their significance and connections to the entire Marvel Universe and Daredevil lore. The episode kicks off at 9:05 a.m. on St. Patrick's Day in New York City. The episode's underscored by the lively sounds of The Rocky Road to Dublin by the Young Dubliners. While this might first seem like a simple thematic choice because St. Patrick's Day, a closer look suggests a potential deeper connection. Later in the episode, during the tense bank robbery, one of the criminals asks about Matt Murdock's Irish heritage. This musical cue at the beginning could be interpreted as an early nod to this aspect of Matt's background. The inclusion of this particular song demonstrates the showrunner's attention to detail in establishing character and setting, even in just the soundtrack. This intentional use of music raises the possibility that future musical choices within the series might also hold similar significance, perhaps reflecting character origins or foreshadowing upcoming plot developments. A significant point of interest in episode 5 is Matt Murdock's encounter with Yusuf Khan at the New York bank. Yusuf is introduced as the assistant bank manager and more notably as the father of Kamala Khan, also known as Miss Marvel. This interaction firmly roots Daredevil Born Again within the MCU by bringing in a character that has resonated with audiences since her debut in the Miss Marvel series. Yusuf's desk also features a custom Miss Marvel Funko Pop figure, a visual cue that proudly displays his support for his daughter's heroic endeavors. During their conversation, Yusuf mentions that Jersey City is Miss Marvel's hometown, something that Matt Murdock claims to be unfamiliar with. This detail helps to establish the current timeline within the MCU and Daredevil's level of awareness regarding other heroes operating in the same world. Additionally, Yusuf reveals that Kamala is currently in California visiting friends. This seemingly casual remark carries potential significance as it aligns with post-credit scenes of The Marvels, which hinted at Kamala's plans to recruit Cassie Lang, Ant-Man's daughter, and potentially form a Young Avengers team alongside Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Matt's lack of awareness about Miss Marvel also indicates where his focus has been, likely centered on the events unfolding in his immediate vicinity because he is going through a lot right now. In a moment of levity amidst the tension of the bank robbery, Yusuf Khan, impressed by Matt's unexpected skills in opening the vault, asks him what kind of lawyer he is. Matt's simple yet confident reply, "A really good one," is a direct callback to a memorable scene from Spider-Man No Way Home. In that film, during Peter Parker's legal troubles, Matt Murdock, acting as Peter's lawyer, casually just catches a brick through a window. When Peter inquired about his seemingly superhuman reflexes, Matt delivered the same understated line. This direct quotation serves as a clear nod to a significant moment in Matt Murdock's MCU history, likely eliciting a positive reaction from fans who recognized that reference. Beyond simple fan service, this callback highlights the consistency of Matt's characterization. Even when he is not operating as Daredevil, his sharp wit and underlying confidence in his abilities, both as a lawyer and someone with unique skills, remain evident. The line has also become somewhat popular among fans, and its inclusion here can be seen as an acknowledgement of that popularity and a way to further solidify Daredevil's place within the universe. During the intense bank robbery scenario, Matt Murdock, while attempting to de-escalate the situation, mentions to the lead thug that he was raised in an orphanage. This seemingly brief statement carries significant weight for those familiar with the original Daredevil series that aired on Netflix. In that iteration, a crucial element of Matt's backstory was his upbringing by nuns at St. Agnes Orphanage following the tragic end of his father. This explicit mention serves as a clear indication that Daredevil Born Again acknowledges and incorporates the established history and character development from the Netflix show rather than acting as a complete reboot. This continuity is important for longtime fans of the character as it provides a sense of familiarity and respect for the previous portrayal. Furthermore, this reference briefly touches upon a foundational aspect of Matt's origin story, highlighting the formative experiences that shaped his values and ultimately contributed to his path as a vigilante dedicated to protecting the vulnerable. A visually intriguing detail during that bank robbery scene involves the masks worn by the criminals. The masks are red, blue, green, purple, and yellow. For keen-eyed MCU enthusiasts, these colors bear a striking resemblance to the colors associated with the Infinity Stones. Adding another layer to this observation, the highly sought-after diamond in the deposit box is described as orange, the color of the Soul Stone. This color coordination has led some fans to speculate about a subtle, perhaps even unintentional, nod to Thanos and the Infinity Saga, a major arc in the MCU. While the connection might seem weak, the specific combo of colors, particularly with the target of the heist being orange, is a curious detail. It's the kind of observation that often fuels fan discussions and theories about potential, even if unlikely, connections to the larger cosmic narrative of the MCU. However, it is important to acknowledge that this could simply be a visual coincidence, and the source material itself labels this connection as obscure, suggesting it might not have been a deliberate Easter egg intended by the showrunners, but also like, come on. The central plot device of the bank robbery revolves around the thieves' pursuit of the large orange diamond located within deposit box number 407. This seemingly specific detail is far from random for fans of the comics, as it is directly referencing Daredevil 407. This particular issue is significant for Daredevil for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's the issue in which Ben Urich, a close confidant of Daredevil, discovers that Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, is apparently done. While Kingpin is very much alive in Daredevil Born Again, this reference to an issue dealing with his supposed demise could be a subtle foreshadowing of future conflicts or shifts in his power and influence within the series. Secondly, it marks the first appearance of the character Cherry in the comics. Cherry is also a character in Daredevil Born Again, portrayed as a former NYPD detective working as a private investigator for Matt Murdock. This connection to the comic issue where Cherry was first introduced might be a way of highlighting the character's comic book origins and potentially hinting at a more significant role for him as the series progresses. This deep-cut Easter egg demonstrates the show's commitment to honoring its comic book foundations and provides a rewarding detail for longtime readers. During a conversation, Matt Murdock's love interest Heather Glen makes a remark that subtly references Matt's past involvement with the vigilante world. She mentions his extensive experience working with vigilantes. This casual line is a callback to the second season of the Netflix Daredevil series, where Matt Murdock famously served as the legal representative for Frank Castle, also known as the Punisher. By specifically mentioning Matt's history with vigilantes, the show reminds the audience of his complex relationship with the world of costumed heroes and sets the stage for his internal conflict regarding whether or not to fully embrace his Daredevil persona once again. Furthermore, this mention of the Punisher, a character who remains popular among fans, could potentially foreshadow further exploration of his impact on Matt's life within this new series. A significant visual moment in episode 5 occurs when Matt Murdock, in an effort to pursue the fleeing leader of the bank robbers, dons a red ski mask that belonged to one of the criminals. For fans of Daredevil, the color red is linked to the character's iconic costume. Putting on a red mask, it carries a powerful symbolic weight, serving as a clear visual foreshadowing of Matt's inevitable return to his role as the Daredevil. After the tragic end of Foggy Nelson, Matt had seemingly given up his vigilante activities, attempting to focus solely on his legal career. However, the events of the bank robbery force him to take action outside the confines of the legal system, and the red mask becomes a potent symbol of this shift. It represents a step back towards the darkness and the vigilanteism that he tried to leave behind, highlighting his internal struggle and his ultimate decision to embrace his heroic identity once more. This visual cue is likely to generate excitement among viewers eager to see Daredevil back in action in his full costume. Episode 5 references the character Swordsman, further connecting Daredevil Born Again to other corners of the MCU. Swordsman makes an appearance at Mayor Fisk's fundraiser in episode 5. More significantly, even though it's not the focus of this video, in episode 6, a video of Swordsman fighting is shown on the BB Report. He was previously introduced in the Hawkeye series, where he was initially engaged to Eleanor Bishop and later framed by her before ultimately joining forces with Kate Bishop and Clint Barton against the Tracksuit Mafia. His appearance in Daredevil Born Again shows the street-level MCU is all connected now. Given his history with Kate Bishop and his awareness of Wilson Fisk's criminal dealings, Swordsman's presence could potentially lead to future interactions or conflicts with Daredevil or Kingpin, adding another layer of complexity to the unfolding narrative. While episode 5 primarily focuses on that bank robbery, it lays the groundwork for a significant antagonist who becomes more prominent in the subsequent episodes. During the bank heist, one of the robbers, known as Green or Devlin, is noted to bear a resemblance to the comic book villain Sin Eater. While this is not a direct appearance of Muse, it hints at the darker, more grounded threats that Daredevil will be facing. The narrative then shifts to episode 6, where the serial ender known as Muse takes center stage. Muse is depicted as a disturbing artist who creates murals using human red. A scene in episode 6 where two women approach Muse for a selfie directly mirrors a panel from the original Marvel Comics, demonstrating the show's adherence to the source material. Furthermore, Wilson Fisk strategically uses the public sphere and chaos generated by Muse's endings as justification for the creation of his anti-vigilante task force. The introduction and setup of Muse, even in the periphery of episode 5, establishes a significant and disturbing threat that will undoubtedly drive much of the conflict in the season, pushing both Daredevil and Kingpin back into the familiar your roles. The 5th episode of Daredevil Born Again, it is packed with Easter eggs and hidden references that enhance the viewing experience for both casual fans and dedicated Marvel enthusiasts. The inclusion of characters like Yusuf Khan and the callbacks to moments from Spider-Man No Way Home and the Netflix series established this new show within the existing MCU canon. The foreshadowing of future storylines, such as the emergence of Muse and the potential for a Young Avengers team-up, it builds anticipation for what lies ahead. By weaving in these Easter eggs, the creators of Daredevil Born Again show that they understand and appreciate the source material and fanbase, promising a continuation of the Daredevil saga that is both familiar and exciting. Thanks for watching. Bye.